Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be teaching you how to trade liquidity supply and demand, but not just that, I'm going to be teaching you how to trade it using the 30-minute time frame. So if you guys are not in the Discord, you actually won't know this, but this month I've been taking 30-minute setups as well as 5-minute setups, and I've actually closed about 13% profit from 30-minute trades this month. So I'm going to teach you guys how I've done that, and I'm going to show you the differences between the 5-minute charts and the 30-minute charts, and I'm going to go through the trades that I've taken so far. So if you look right here, this is the first trade I took on EURUSD. It was a very clean position. I took TP1 at about a 1 to 6 at this first low for 3% profit, and TP2 was at the overall low right here for about 7% profit, 1 to 14.5 it says. It was a little bit less than that on live markets, so about 10% overall for this position. So with the 30-minute charts, it's a lot more important to be in line with the higher time frame trend and to make sure you're not going against it. So I'm going to break down for you guys why this was a valid trade and what we saw. So initially, you can see we're quite bullish up to this point up here, where we reversed straight down. Now, with this amount of volume we came down with, we're not expecting it really to respect this low and to continue upwards. You would expect it to want to come down and test the overall lows around this area, which you can see we're still making our way to do that. So with simple market structure, of course, we're looking at higher highs and lower lows. At this point, we come down and this is the next low. And you can see it took it out very nicely right here before it made a quick grab to the upside. Now, this does not mean that we're still going bullish. You want to see how price action plays out next. The key bit of information here that told me we are not bullish. Look at this high. Let's see what happens. When we eventually make our way back up here, we've made a higher high, a lower low, and we eventually made our way back up to this area. Still with no direction at this point. We're sort of consolidating, building up orders you would expect in this area to continue bearish because of how much momentum we've crashed down with. So what we're looking for next is to retest the high and see what happens at this high. Is it going to break above it cleanly and we're going to continue bullish? Or are we building up orders to move bearish? As soon as we got here, extremely strong reaction. This may have been a part of news as well. I can see it was at 1:30 UK time, but this tells you the story. Okay, we're still moving bearish. And so at this point, as soon as I saw that happen, I knew we had supplies on the table. So look how price continued to play out, consolidated around here, didn't take out the high, went down again, came up to this area, didn't take out the high, went down again. Now the last thing that we need, we're looking for an untapped supply zone, a very clean one right here. The next thing we need is a supply or demand zone or liquidity in front of the zone to fail for us to take our trade. Very simple. Clean supply zone. If you've been trading RD concepts for a long time, you'll know this is a valid zone because we made the liquidity, and then if it just moved down and went back to the zone, it wouldn't be valid. The liquidity has to take out its own lows, which it did right here, which makes it now a valid trade when we come back up. So we've got everything lining up. High time frame structure is bearish. Liquidity in front of our untapped zone is taken out a low to make it a valid liquidity area. Retraces back to the zone. Now on the 30-minute, the entries are a bit different. So I enter on the first candle to close in my direction. In this case, the first red candle because it's a supply. Very simple. I keep the candle about 1 pip above the one that tapped the zone. It's the exact same as the 5-minute in that regard. And you can see that played out very nicely. We came back, retested a little bit, or we crashed down. So for targets, my initial TP is always at the first low, especially if it's as high as a 1 to 6, which it already was at that point. Just because we closed for the structure to have a very small stop loss. Normally it's a lot bigger than this, but in this case, it gave us a very high risk to reward, which is good. TP2, I closed 50% here. TP2 is at the overall low to continue downwards. Now for this one, I was actually debating having it down at this low, which I may have done, but because we of course had such a small stop loss, this was already more than enough. And so I just took it very simply at this low, and that was about 10% profit on this position. Now, I've been really liking the 30-minute charts for this reason. It's very consistent. It's very easy to get the trade entries. The 5-minute is extremely good for getting lots of experience, being able to deal with the most difficult conditions. So if you're going up to the 30-minute for a trade, it's easy because it takes so long to form. 30 minutes, this candle tapped. Another half an hour, this one closed red. There's no frantically trying to enter, etc. So that's a good thing about the 30 minutes that I enjoy. I can have a lot more free time away from the chart, just coming back when I actually have a position that I need to take. Alright guys, quick interruption to the video. I was just about to post this today, but I actually woke up and I hit this amazing trade on EURUSD, so I thought, might as well just show you what's happening and how it went down. Very late on the video upload guys, I know. I'm still working on it, alright? Weekly videos, I'll get it down eventually. Anyway, This is the trade for today, so I actually woke up and I passed phase 2 already on another challenge. That's the second one in 2 weeks, and this was TP1 that I hit. I'd still be in this trade, obviously, if I didn't pass yet. For I would have closed TP1, I'd still have number 2 running. But for now, this is the trade. So as you can see, it's Euro USD, very clean. We're in a downtrend. We've broken out of sort of consolidated a little bit, still continuing making lower lows every time. As usual, what do we see? Untapped zone right here, took out lows. And so next thing you want to see is it to come back and it closes respecting the zone as it did. Now with this one, I didn't wait for the first candle to close in my direction because we had news right here on this red candle. So I simply I entered on the close of this one, knowing that I probably wouldn't get a very good entry if I waited. And that's true, I wouldn't have got a good one. It would have been down here. Not a very good risk to reward in that trade. So I entered on the first candle's close rejecting. Still worked out nicely. News respected our zone and we crashed down to TP1 right here, which was at a 1 to 5. So I closed 5%. Full trade, and that was phase 2 passed on this account. So for TP2, this is just using the Fibonacci trend tool, and our first target is way down here. I'm just going to cap it at a 1 to 10 because there's sort of empty space really. 1 to 10 will be my max risk to reward if there's nothing actually over here for me to use as a reference. So I just thought I'd quickly add that on into the video because I woke up and hit it this morning. Very nice trade. You guys can go and see how this played out because obviously it hasn't finished yet by the time I posted this video. Of course as well, we took this one in the Discord as usual if you guys want to join that. Here's when I sent out the zone, 29th of the 1st, 2024. Valid on Euro USD now that we've taken out lows. So as soon as we had the liquidity and it took out the lows, trade was valid. I sent that to the Discord and yeah, pretty much everyone took that one. So that was a very nice trade. If you guys want to join, link in the description. But the next trade I took was this one right here on GJ, this demand setup. This one was clean as well. It was very simple. I'll start with looking at the overall structure. What can we see? Well, we're going higher highs, consolidate, higher high, consolidate, higher high. And so I was expecting that to continue over here. Now, at this point, you can see it hasn't taken out overall highs yet. It might be coming down to retest the zone. I feel like there is a high chance this zone might hold, but who knows, we might just be continuing downwards. Waiting for this 30-minute zone. This one could not have been more obvious. Just see how clean the untapped zone is. Next thing, what I'll be looking for. We're bullish overall, so it's an in-trend trade. This right here is our liquidity. For this to be valid, it has to take out its own high. Yes, it did. So we have a valid liquidity right in front of our untapped zone. We're waiting for it to come back, and the good thing about this was that it actually made a lot more lows of liquidity before eventually coming back. So it had taken out 1, 2, 3 lows right here and then tapped into our zone. So the entries, very simple. Green candle close in our direction, enter on the close, 1 pip below the candle, and that is our entry. TP1 for me at the first high right here. Yeah, overall 3.75%. I closed at about 3% like I mentioned because I already passed the challenge somewhere down here. So that was this trade, and that put me about 13% on this month just from 30-minute setups. Now I also did have some 5-minute trades this month and I was profitable in those as well, but I won't go through them in this video because that's a different topic. I'll walk through a couple more trades. You can see I also have losses on here as well as wins. This is just the entire year for 2023. Very simple, of course. You can see the very bullish structure and a strong push upwards to make our liquidity. Down here, did it take out its own high? Yes, it did. So this is a valid liquidity. We want to see it come back down to this demand zone that normal supply and demand traders might take them out, tap into our clean untapped zone. The rest is history. There was no really target up here for me to take it apart from new highs. So full position up here for 9%, very clean trade. So I'll take a look at some of the EU trades at the moment. It's just these 3 pairs that I trade. So it's very simple, the strategy. It's the same for all setups. Right here, what do we see? We're very bullish overall. We're coming up a lot. We have a retracement. Did it take out lows? Nope. It stopped right here very nicely. Came back up and it took out a high at this point. So very clearly still bullish for me. And what do we want to see next? Identify a clean untapped zone. We've got one right here. Liquidity in front of the zone. Here's a nice low to take out at a good distance. So at this point, did the low that was made, did it take out its own high? Yes, it did. Came up here and also took out these highs to the left. So it's a valid liquidity and an untapped zone. Simple entry, what do we see? First candle taps the zone. Second candle closes green. Enter, stop loss below the candle to tap the zone. For this one, I could have had the TP1 right here. I probably would have done that in the live markets with TP2 up at the highs at the top. So it's very simple TP1 and TP2 strategy. For take profit 2 in live markets, I'll actually put a trailing stop when it gets triggered. Just try and take as much profit as possible. But that's about it for the 30-minute charts. Very simple, more or less the same as the 5-minute with a few tweaks. And the thing I like about this is that it's a lot more consistent. It gives me free time away from the charts. And so I'm considering perhaps switching to this full time. I've got a lot more testing to do. I've still been taking 5-minute setups. In fact, we actually took a 5-minute trade today on GJ. Might as well just show this quickly. This is the one. I didn't take it personally because I wasn't here, but in the Discord we had it marked up already. Very clean. A few people entered around here. It was a difficult one because there wasn't really much of a chance to enter. It hardly closed rejecting at all, and then it just started going green straight away. So it was a tough one to enter. Stop loss was about 1 pip below, and you can see it came up nicely. 1 to 3, 1 to 2, whatever you took TP. It did come down afterwards, but got the clean 1 to 3 most people hit. Some even hit a 1 to 5. They got in very aggressive on this one. The nice demand right here, also a demand here. This one got faked out. This one it just crashed straight through. That's the liquidity in front of our zone, and we started taking our highs. So that was a 5-minute trade from today, and I'm still trading both at the moment. If a clean 5-minute trade shows up, I'm still going to take it. I'm switching slowly towards the 30-minute just to be more professional and long-term with trading. And also, we started trading in the first place for freedom. We want to have free time away from the charts, etc. But yeah, the 5-minute charts, like I mentioned, I wouldn't change anything about it. It's been the best place to learn trading, constant setups, while also having a consistent market structure that gets respected. It's not just random, like some people believe about the lower time frames. Setups all the time, so much practice, difficult entries in the live market, so very good training. And so I feel like now that I've got all that skill base, it's going to be a lot easier for me to trade the 30-minute charts. There's a few things you have to get used to: trade frequency, holding the trades a long time. But with the psychology developed from the 5-minute charts, which is a lot more difficult, I can handle that very easily at this point. So who knows, maybe in the future I'll only trade the 30-minute charts. For now, I'm still trading both. That was just a quick breakdown on how I actually trade the strategy. As always, most of these trades we've taken them all in the Discord. If you guys want to join that, the link will be in the description. Just posted another 1 hour plus webinar in there, so we've got loads of good information, and all the past webinars are also saved. If you want to join that, it's only £30 a month, link in the description. I will most likely be changing it to £50 in the future, so if you want to be locked in at that price forever, join up now. If not, make sure to like and subscribe. Videos will still be coming weekly. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.